and three, and two, and one. We're on. All right, all right. What's good, WNBA fans? This is Moss Pride back with Not Move Podcast. Appreciate you, JB, for letting me on for another week. We got another weekly update coming. We got hoops, buckets. We got Cameron Brink's return. Man, we in for a lit one. We had some great performances this week. About 2 weeks post All Star break. Um, Of course, we got some injuries across the league. Talk a little bit about that. Not dig too much deep into it. Just a few. All right, Caitlin Clark being a big one. Um, so yeah, clutch performances too. The Boris Diaw game winner that we had a Diaw type game winner. Just toss behind the head. We had one of those from Rakia Jackson. So yeah, we had some great performances. Of course, this is a week full of games, so it's a lot of games that's going to overlap, right? So to top it off, top of the week, we had Sabrina Ionescu have a 30-point game against the vintage Sabrina. Yeah, that was a great game she had against the who that play. I think the Suns. I think they played. Yeah, she had a great game. Natasha Cloud poured in 22 and 9. Derica Hamby countered with 17 and 10. As Zero Stevens countered with her 17 and 11. They had it back and forth. You know, so yeah, that was a great duel. Um, It was crazy. This is vintage Sabrina. This is the vintage Sabrina that we all got used to. Sabrina Ionescu, lighting it up from three. She poured in six rebounds too with her 8 assists, playmaking. What she does. Um, we seen Derica Hamby. We seen Azure Stevens control the glass. That was amazing to see. Kelsey Plum had two 20-point games this week. She had a stellar week. She had a great game. Rachel Banham, she just had two 20+ point games, I believe. She had a 26-point game earlier this week. Then then a couple days ago, she had another 20-point game. Tina Charles and Raquel Jackson both had 24-point games, as I referred to her earlier. So yeah, so we topped the week off with some great performances, and it's nice to get this action back. It's been a little bit quiet about the strike. It's great to see these ladies out there performing. You know, it was great to see. That was so big numbers. So we have some big numbers. All right. So wait. So Leah Boston had 14 and 11, and she in one game. Kelsey Mitchell also put up a 35-point game that night. She was blazing hot. Right. We had some very efficient nights. This was being one of them. She had a great night. Fever in the Fever win. They had a great game. Camila Cordorso, I think that's how you pronounce. I can't pronounce her name. Camila Cordorso, excuse me. She had a few double doubles this week in both of the Sky losses, or I think they won one of those games, if I'm correct. It's so many games to keep up with. Yeah, they both had Sky. They both had the Sky had two good games. Camila Cordorso, Kirsten Bell, Jackie Young, Jewel Lloyd both had 19, 20, and 24 respectfully. As the Aces route the Wings, that was a drubbing. That was a beatdown. Of course, the Aces being a better team this year. Um, Shakira Austin had her 20-point game. Alyssa Thomas countered with the eye popping 27-11. She shot 71% from the field that game. That was a that was a stellar performance. Give her credit. Shakira Austin and Alyssa Thomas had their duel. Of course, Alyssa Thomas out dueling her, being a better player. Of course, controlling the glass as well, being very efficient from the field. Nafisa Collier, we talked about her a lot in the first two episodes. She pours in 32-point game. Their first home loss, I believe, this season. So despite her efforts, they still lost the game, 32-point game. I think she had a great game. So that speaks to the dominance of the Lynx, right? Because I think this is their first home loss of the season, and we're two weeks post All Star break. Great dominance. Courtney Williams and the others didn't really pour much in to help her out. Natasha Cloud, they didn't really do much to help her out. So it was kind of a one woman show out there, but still got a great performance nonetheless, right? Brittany Griner had a 22-point game. We haven't talked about Brittany Griner that much. Vintage Brittany Griner, she was very dominant down low that game. Nneka Ogwumike, yeah, Nneka Ogwumike had a 26-point game. Pretty sure her sister praising her on ESPN. She had a great game. Uh, my girls Enrique and Paige Beckers, they both had great games against the Liberty. That 20 apiece, respectfully. Sabrina Ionescu and Jonquel Jones, they had 18 and 17 respectfully. It was a uh, two versus two duel that game. A great game. The Wings pulled out over the Liberty. The Liberty has been a dominant team this season. So this kind of a kind of recap of all the top games is some of the games this past week. The Mystics had a couple great games. Kiki, I cannot pronounce her last name. Kiki, you guys know what I'm talking about. The rookie Kiki, yeah, she's been very dominant and down low in the paint. She had multiple double digit rebound games this season. Uh, Valkyrie, the Valkyrie had a huge game winner too. I was speaking of game winners. I spoke on Ricky Jackson. The Valkyrie got a go ahead win to beat the Dream. That's my home team, the Dream. And it's Jordan Canada 21-point effort was not enough. They lost in the final seconds of the game. Had to go ahead bucket. Huge moment for the Valkyrie, who in their inaugural season has been a relatively good team, right? And so Sonia Citron had a great 28 point game. I'm sorry, 22. I'm sorry, 22-point game. And Kiki had a 28-point game. And then Brittany Sykes added another 18. It was a 17-point drubbing over the Sky. The Sky weren't quiet though. They were not quiet. They definitely had a few people going ham. They had Angel Reese gave them 22 and 13. Camila Cardosa again with a 22 and 10. Both dominant, both dominant on the glass. And then we had Benham again showing up in the score column with 19. She hit 19. It wasn't enough. Of course, we talked about it. They lost by 17, double digit loss. Yes, they lost by 17. Another double digit loss for the Sky. The Sky has not had a good season. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Asia Wilson showed back up. 34-10, very dominant. She had a very efficient game, showing us why she's the best player in the WNBA. She was very good. Welcome back, Cameron Brink. Also, Cameron Brink was there. She poured in 5 in that game. In the Sparks loss, Kelsey Plum had a 22-point game. That was a nice back and forth game. We much love to Kelsey Plum. She's been consistent. Much love to Cameron Brink. Finally come back from injury. So she can get herself started. She hit a 3 and a couple free throws. She was just getting back readjusted to the speed of the game. It was nice to see. So few news real quick. Of course, we know Asia Wilson has been active. She's been WNBA junior ambassador overseas. She's been a dominant force in WNBA. She's been an MVP candidate. She's helping the Aces. She's helping the Aces stay afloat, right? Because they've been kind of middle of the pack this season. WNBA expansion. We have a few cities across the league that's thinking of expansion. We want to see expansion. So this is a brighter term from where we was talking about last week with the whole strike. This is some good news for us. We want to see expansion. We want to see betterment of the league. Hopefully all this bargaining can come to a head. Not to dip back too much into what we talked about last week. So I looked at the power rankings, and I usually don't pay attention to power rankings too much. But I dipped my toe in the water. I kind of, went down a rabbit hole. It's not a rabbit hole, but yeah. So the links. So what surprised me was I did not know the fever was still this high. I did not know the fever was still high in the power ranking. So Lynx, Liberty, Dream, Mercury, and Storm round out the top 5 respectively. I had the Storm. I didn't know Storm was making the top 5. I had no idea. I knew they was hooping. I didn't think they were going to make the top 5. That was kind of threw me off. Followed by Fever, Aces, Sparks, Mystics. The Mystics, they have had some pretty good performances from their rookies. The Fever has been staying afloat. Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell's definitely keeping that team together despite Caitlin Clark's injuries. Excuse me. Aces, of course, Aces staying afloat, riding the back of Asia Wilson. But the Dream, now, as a Dream fan, we've been a consistent team all year. Very quiet, very consistent, stacking up wins on top of wins. Top three, I did not realize we were top three. That was kind of a surprise to me. Um, of course, Jordan Cannon has been pretty good this season. We've had some. Brittany Griner has she's been kind of inconsistent, but she's been good enough for us. I didn't know we were this dominant. This has been a great season for the Dream. Top three team in the league. So that was great. I didn't realize we were top three. I assumed we were maybe 5 or 6. Valkyrie in their inaugural season has made the top 10. So clap it up for them. Clap it up for them. They need more consistency too. They had good week this week. They have solid depth. This is their inaugural season. Once they get more players in, they get their roster constructed. They get the facilities, everything. They're going to be a top team. Like in their inaugural season, that had been good in my opinion. Very good. Then team with 2 players I've talked about a lot. Right, I've talked about Angel Reese a lot. Her dominance on the glass. She's been a walking double. She's been her scoring has gotten much better. 0.5. She's been playmaking. We talked about her, and it's been exciting to see her growth. We'll get into that a little bit later. Then the wings. I talked about Enrique. I've talked about Paige Beckers. They've been gelling together. It's been tough for them though. They had tough stretches. They have trouble closing. They have different things of that nature. I feel like veteran leadership should come to a part when it comes to this. And sometimes I feel like Paige needs to realize that she can take the game over, and she needs to do that, right? So, and then the Sun. Wow, the Sun has been pretty bad this year. 4-20. Not much to say about them. Not much to say about them. That's been bad. Okay. So run back through this, right? Run back through this. So the Lynx, of course, they have been dominant. I've said it earlier. They just lost their first game at home. Just lost it. So they've been dominant. Nafisa Kalia has been great. Courtney Williams has been an all-star, as we all know. They've been a great well constructed team. They defend, they rebound, they move the ball well, and I feel like they show teams night in and night out, I'm just better than you, and there's nothing you can do about it, even if you wanted to. That's great to see, because we see that in the NBA a lot. We certain teams, the Thunder, of course, I'm not going to compare them to the Thunder, 2 completely different teams. Thunder show you the night in and night out, I'm just better than you. There's nothing you can do about it. Same thing with the Lynx on a night-to-night basis. Hey, you see, we're not on the same platform here. Come on, you got to step up. So, and it was crazy to see them manage to lose a game at home despite Nafisa Kalia performing well. That was kind of shocking to see. She had a great game in that game, of course. Sabrina and Jonquel Jones have been a great duo, as we know. They've been heating up. They've been heating up too. They've been great. Of course, we got to talk about the Dream. I've talked about, well, not we got to. I've talked about them already. Quiet, consistently performing, consistently beating teams, consistently knocking them down. Mercury, of course, we know what they've been they got a good trio over there. They knocking teams down too. Storm. So Inika Ogwumike and Jewel Lloyd has been another nasty duo in this league that we've seen this so far this season, right? And they have. So first of all, they both defend well, right? And that's one thing I love is defense. You gotta be defending, right? But they also can put the ball in the basket. They can put the ball in the basket. They're going to get those buckets. They might have some off days, but rubber meets road, they're going to get those buckets. And it's been crazy to see how good that team has been constructed around those two. So they make the top 5. The Storm, they make the top 5. I didn't expect it. They were a lot better than I thought. But of course, on film, they're a pretty good team. So the Fever too. So Leah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell have been proven to be one of the best guard forward duos in the league. You have one crashing the glass and scoring, and you have one playmaking and scoring, right? And that's something you need to keep your team afloat when your best player, Caitlin Clark, has been out, and then even before she was out, she has been performing that well. Very inefficient, high turnovers, and it might be time for us to have an uncomfortable conversation about Caitlin Clark, because something and some ain't adding up. Every time this might offend some people, but every time she start to face tough defense, she fold. National championship, South Carolina played her tough. She folded. A few games last season, early started off. They played her tough. Face guard, you're getting double teamed. You're not going to get off. She's folded. Now we see every team is throwing the kitchen sink at her. She's getting lazy. Um, she's not being aggressive attacking the basket. She's not even trying to get her spot. She said, "I'm gonna shoot from. I'm gonna be Jimmer Fredette. I'm gonna shoot from half court, and if I can't get a half court shot off, I'm not gonna worry about it." And that's called her number. That calls for her number to drop across the board. Um, she gets frustrated easily. She's rushing. She's being lazy. She's rushing and being lazy at the same time. That makes no sense to me. It's like I'm gonna hurry up and get here, and if it don't happen immediately, I'm gonna just take the rest of the playoff. I'm cutting. Pass the ball to me here. If she don't get the ball, then she takes the rest of the playoff. And this caused her numbers to drop across the board. Her scoring has dropped off. She's getting assist numbers, but she also getting high turnover numbers. Right? She's shooting inefficiently, and so we got to have a conversation about her. So what are you willing to do to come out this rut? Because I don't think this rut is unluck or it's a hitting drought, right? Of course she's injured right now, but it's not like a hitting drought. You know how baseball players have where they get, or shooting drought. No, it's you're you're physically quitting play in and play out, and that's not cool. We can't we can't continue to praise you for something like that. If we could continue to down other players for their play, at least they're giving effort. You're visibly not giving effort. We can't let you slide with that. So yeah, step it up when you come back. You know, do your thing when you come back, but step it up. We need you to be a lot tougher, a lot stronger mentally. Yeah, get back in that mode because Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell has been carrying without you. They've been carrying. They've been hooping too. They've been hooping. So yeah, get off your high horse and hoop for real. All right. Sorry for the monologue. Okay. Of course, we talked about Aces, Sparks, Mystics. Their two rookies have been playing well back for the inaugural season. All right. So it's been a great week, right? We have a few 30-point nights. Some stars playing like stars. The W's delivering. Excuse me. They're delivering high level hoops for us, and it's been great to see. We want to see that. We want to continue to see that. We don't want to have these conversations to where talk about strike. We want to get not to get back to the old episode, last week's episode. But yeah, you know, another weekly update. This has been a great week for us. And this is the type of thing we need to talk about in a W for to spread. We need to talk about all these great performances across the league, not just focus on two or three players. That's how we're going to grow the league, right? Because we have some great performances this week. We ran through them with you guys. I just like advocating for this league, man. This has been a great week to see. Of course, I talked about Deborah's Diallo game winner. She just threw it up behind her back. She failed, threw it up behind her back. That was great. Rakia Jackson, of course, like I said, had a few great games. AJ Wilson showed her why she's MVP level player, being dominant, being aggressive defensively, being nasty on the glass. And Reese continues to dominate the glass like it's nothing. Both the bigs up there in Chicago, both of them continue to dominate the glass, and it's great to see. I just what's confusing about a team like Chicago, right? Not to get too deep into it. How are you consistently getting that much dominance on the glass and you're getting score and you're still losing? It's like I feel like of course over time they're going to get more players if they continue to be in the lottery. They're going to get more players, and they're going to as they get more guard play, they're going to be a good team because their bigs are locked down, like defensively, rebounding. They're both playmaking off each other, interior passing, things of that nature. So they've been great. Um, I requested it last week. I'm not sure it happened. I asked for Malonga, the 6'9" beast out of the Congo, I believe. I asked her to be unleashed, and I guess they didn't hear me because she's 6'9". She's doing standing dunks. She's the WNBA's Dwight Howard, Shaq, if you will. Yeah, I want to see her unleash. I want to see some back scratching dunks. I want to see some post moves. I want to see some drop steps. I want to see her get greasy. Like I want to see that. So I'm gonna ask the Seattle Storm again. I don't know if you heard me last episode. Unleash that beast. Please unleash her. Because who's gonna guard her? She get in the post, you drop it off, she hold it like this, turn and dunk it. Yeah, yeah, that's the easy 2020 right there. Easy 2020. Who's gonna get a rebound over? She's 6'9", as strong as an ox. But yeah, not to ramble too much, but yeah. So this has been another great week of WNBA. Of course, I'm going to come back again, give y'all another update. This has been a great week. I'm gonna say it again because these performances: 35 here, 34 there, 27-11 here, shooting 71% from the field. 22 different people having 22 with 10 plus. People, 24, 24, 20, 19. People, they was scoring in bunches this week. And I think we have 200-point games this week, which is rare for the W, right? But yeah, anyways, not to ramble too much. We talked about the expansion, some of the great performances, the game winners. But this has been a great week for the W. I appreciate y'all rocking with me another week. I appreciate you, JB, for letting me up here and holding it down, talking about WNBA, spreading the good word as they will, preaching the gospel as they will. But yeah, I'll catch y'all next time, man. This is Moss Pride for Not Move Podcast covering the WNBA, and I'm logging out. JB, make sure you cut this end off after I say I'm logging out, man. Don't lock in, man. Cut the end off.